This video is about adding classwork to your Google Classroom. So once you're in your Google Classroom, if you are unsure of how to switch over here, you can click on the three hot dogs, as we call them, and you can see all the classes and you can switch that way. You can also create a to-do. You can see the calendar for them also here. So if you've created an assignment, I'll show you this towards the end of the video, but when you create an assignment, you can put in a due date and it will show up on their calendar and your calendar. I'm going to go back to our HUSD induction page that I have created. So in classwork, I'm going to create an assignment. So I can do it by multiple things. I can just create an assignment. I can do a quiz, which means that it will grade it. I can just ask a question. I can just post material. So if I just have a video that I want them to watch, I can just post it as material, or my syllabus is just material, things like that. So we'll do assignment first. So in your assignment, you have to title it. So I'm just going to title it Week 1. You can give them instructions like please read through the directions first, whatever you want to type in for directions. And then you have your add and your create button. If you haven't already created it in a Google Doc, a Google Slide, a Google Sheet, something in your Google Drive, then you can create it from brand new here. Or you can just add it here and you can choose what you want here. So I'm going to choose my Google Drive. And if it's recent, you can just click here. So I'm just going to do this. It's a week 1 math assignment. So the big point before you move on, you want to make sure that you hit here. So if it's just something you want your students to view, that's that. Students can view file. If you click on the down arrow, you can give them editing rights. If you give the students editing rights to the file, they can edit the original, and everybody sees those edits that are in your classroom. The most common one is make a copy for each student. When you make a copy for each student, what happens is that it will create all your students and it'll have their first and last name at the very beginning of the assignment, so it's really easy for you to grade. So I'm going to do make a copy for each student, so that way they can't edit my original either. Then over here, you're going to choose what you're going to do it for. So you can choose multiple classrooms. So if you have 4 math classrooms and you want the same assignment to go to all 4, you would click all 4 of those assignments. You can also choose just individual students. So once you have students added in, you may choose that you're going to do an enrichment activity for certain students, and so you just click those students here. You can change the amount of points, or you can make it ungraded. I'm going to just make it ungraded. So you can, then you choose a due date. This is where it will show up on your calendar. So I'm going to choose a due date for just Tuesday the 21st. You can even make it a time. So if it's for your class periods, your period ends at 9:30, you want it done by 9:30, you would then put the time there as well. Topics. You can create topics in here. So if you are in a specific unit or a specific standard, you would create that topic or that standard or that unit here. So I'm going to create one for just introduction, and it will save that for you. If you have a rubric, you can add your rubric here. And if you're doing a writing assignment or other things, you have this check plagiarism. So it will check everything that students upload in to Google Classroom for you. Then up here you have some options. So you can click on the down to assign. You can schedule it or you can save it as a draft. Scheduling it gives you the option of scheduling it for like a next, so you can be, so it'll just automatically populate the next day. So I don't really want them to see this assignment until Monday at 8 a.m. So I'm going to schedule it for that time. When you hit schedule, that means that you're done editing this. If you hit assign, that means it's assigning right then and there, or you can save the draft. So I'm just going to schedule it for July 20th. So you see it populated. It will show up here on your classwork page, so under the topic that you clicked for. So I clicked week 1 and I'm going to schedule it for July 20th at 8 a.m. That's that. I can edit this by these 3 little jelly beans, these gray ones. So I can edit it, I can delete it. When you have multiple things in here, you can even move it up. So if you want your agenda always at the very top, you would have to move that up here. They don't have a function yet for it to just stay at the top. So you have to go in and do that manually. Then I'm also going to show you how to create a video in here. So if I have an assignment and I'm going to title it Every Kid Video, I'm going to add it here, and then I'm going to choose that I'm going to do it by a link. You can choose it by YouTube also. So my link is Every Kid Needs a Champion, so I'm going to go in here and get the link in this video. So I'm going to click on the share. I copy the link. I go back to my classwork here, and then I can paste it in this thing, and I will add it. It will pull up the video here, and then I want them to watch it. I would like them to watch the video. And then over here, again, I can pick the same thing I picked for the last one. So for students, points, a due date, and this time I'm going to create a new topic for videos. And I can assign this right now. I don't need to wait because it's a really awesome video. And I hit sign. So you can see here in my classwork page, I have my 2 topics. I have my 1 assignment for the video, which is blue, means that it's active. They can do it, whoever's in your classroom as a student can see that right now. If it's gray, that means it's being scheduled or it's saved for later in here. Okay, and I can also sort, instead of all topics, I could just show videos, and it shows you what you have here. When you click on here, it tells you how many it's turned into and how many is assigned. I don't have any students, so it's not even assigned to any, but it'll tell you how many you assigned it to and then how many have actually turned in that work. So in induction, that's the same thing. I can then click it here and go through that process.